the end of the month. You just got up and scrolling through your banking app, and your heart sinks. The balance looks like it's been robbed again. You promise yourself you'll do better next month, but somehow the same thing keeps happening. You tell yourself it's just bad luck, but deep down, you know it's not. It's the same pattern. Overspending when you're stressed, avoiding bills because they make you anxious, saving obsessively but never feeling secure. It's not just bad habits. It's your mental health quietly hijacking your wallet. Today, we're uncovering how your mental health secretly controls the way you spend, save, and invest, and how to finally take back control of your money. And whatever you do, don't miss the last one. It's the most common, but almost nobody realizes they have it. ADHD and impulsive spending. ADHD is often characterized by impulsivity, inattention, and poor planning. And together, they can seriously damage your finances. Let's talk about Jake, a 28-year-old software engineer in Austin, Texas. Jake has ADHD, and like many people with this condition, he struggles with impulsivity. Every time he gets paid, he's instantly distracted by ads for the latest tech gadget, the flashiest shoes, or even a limited-time offer from a clothing brand. He tells himself, "I'll buy it now, and I'll think about the budget later." But later never comes. Jake's story is common for people with ADHD. Impulsive spending, poor budgeting, and a lack of long-term planning often result in financial problems. Research has shown that adults with ADHD tend to have higher rates of credit card debt and are less likely to save for the future. They often neglect important financial decisions because they focus on the immediate reward of spending. One powerful solution? Automate your savings and investments. By setting up automatic payments or transfers to a savings account, you don't have to rely on your impulsive emotions every month. Another strategy: delay gratification. Implement a 24-hour rule before buying anything. Force yourself to sleep on purchases, and more often than not, you'll realize you don't actually need it. Depression and avoidance. Depression affects millions of people worldwide, and one of the biggest financial impact is avoidance. When someone is struggling with depression, the last thing they want to think about is their budget, investments, or bills. Let's take Lisa, a 35-year-old marketing manager who suffers from chronic depression. Lisa finds it overwhelming to open her bank account app or even look at her credit card bills. So, she avoids them entirely. This avoidance doesn't make the bills disappear. It just causes late fees, overdraft charges, and missed opportunities for building wealth. People with depression often neglect financial management, leading to financial instability. In fact, one study found that depression is linked to higher spending on things that provide short-term comfort like food delivery or online shopping, but it rarely contributes to long-term wealth. For anyone struggling with depression, the key is simplifying your financial life. Automate your bills, automate your savings, and set up systems that work even when you're not in the mood. Regularly review your spending habits in small increments, perhaps weekly, so it doesn't become overwhelming. Try using budgeting apps to track your spending without needing to do it all manually. Anxiety and overthinking. Anxiety can be incredibly debilitating when it comes to making financial decisions. When you constantly overthink every little thing, it's hard to make a decision about where to invest or how much to save. Take David, 40 years old, a tech entrepreneur in San Francisco. David has severe anxiety and gets overwhelmed by even the simplest financial decisions. Every time he's about to invest in an index fund or start a savings plan, he spirals into overthinking. He worries about market crashes, inflation, and the long-term consequences of every decision. Anxiety often leads to paralysis by analysis, the inability to make any decisions at all because you're so scared of making the wrong one. This leads to missed opportunities in both investing and saving. The key here is creating a rules-based plan. If you're always overthinking your decisions, set simple, repeatable rules. For example, invest 10% of my income every month. Save $500 automatically every payday. Having these preset systems in place helps you bypass the need for constant decision-making and lets you stick to your plan, regardless of the emotional state you're in. Bipolar disorder and risk-taking. Bipolar disorder causes extreme mood swings, including manic phases where individuals may become overly confident and take excessive financial risks. Take James, a 32-year-old entrepreneur who experienced a manic episode and decided to invest his entire savings into high-risk cryptocurrencies. At the time, he felt invincible, like nothing could go wrong. However, when the market turned, he lost almost everything. Bipolar disorder can lead to financial recklessness during manic episodes. When people are feeling high, they may overestimate their ability to predict markets or overcommit financially, only to feel extreme regret when the mood stabilizes. The best strategy for those with bipolar disorder is to set financial boundaries during manic phases. Have a trusted financial advisor or accountability partner who can step in and stop risky decisions during these high-energy times. Also, use hard limits for high-risk investments, like only allocating a small portion, like 10% of your income for riskier investments, ensuring you can withstand potential losses. Obsessive compulsive disorder and hoarding. People with OCD often experience repetitive behaviors and can become obsessed with certain tasks. In some cases, this can lead to financial hoarding, where someone is so obsessed with saving or planning that they fail to take any real action at all. Tom, a 45-year-old accountant, spends hours each day obsessively researching stocks, reading financial news, and reviewing his portfolio. However, he's so afraid of making a mistake that he never invests in anything. His savings sit in a low-interest account, never growing. OCD can paralyze financial decisions, leading to inaction. People with this disorder might overanalyze and get stuck in a cycle of excessive planning without ever taking meaningful action, thus losing out on potential growth. The solution for OCD-related financial paralysis is structured decision-making. Set time limits for researching investments, say 30 minutes per week, and then make your move. Another tactic is to work with a financial advisor who can provide external perspective and help break the cycle of overthinking. Emotional spending and eating disorder. Emotional spending is often tied to feelings of stress, anxiety, or depression, and it can be even more complicated for those with eating disorders or other compulsive behaviors. Spending money can temporarily fill an emotional void, much like binge eating or overindulging in unhealthy foods. Take Leah, 27, who has an emotional eating disorder. Every time Leah feels down, she spends impulsively on designer clothes or luxury meal delivery services, even though it's not in her budget. She tries to fill a void with these material possessions, but it never lasts. Emotional spending can drain both your finances and your mental health. Often, it's a coping mechanism that provides temporary relief but leads to long-term financial instability and shame. The key to breaking emotional spending is recognizing the emotional triggers. Track your spending habits and emotions to see if you're spending to cope. Use budgeting apps to track your finances and make sure your savings goals are automated, so you aren't tempted to spend impulsively. So, what's the big takeaway? Your mental health is intricately linked to your financial health, whether it's impulsive spending due to ADHD or emotional buying because of depression. But the great news is you can take control. It's all about recognizing the patterns, creating systems that protect your finances, and seeking professional help when needed. Remember, making small, consistent changes in your financial habits can have a massive impact over time, just like developing a mental wellness routine. Let me know in the comments which of these mental health and money strategies resonate with you. And if this video helped, consider sharing it with someone who might need it. Thanks for watching.